everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm super happy that you're here today, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you the first speed build ever on my new island, Fox Grove. I'm really excited to share this. I don't even know what to call it because it's not really a new theme, but I guess this new aesthetic on Fox Grove with you today. I have kind of a loose idea of what I want to do today, and I'm excited to see just kind of how it's going to all come together. But if you like content like this and you want to see more, please do be sure to like and subscribe to support my channel. I appreciate you all so much. And without further ado, let's just get into this entrance. So I don't usually share much of the terraforming process, but I decided to share just a little bit of it in this video today. I didn't share all of it because there is quite a lot of terraforming in this area, and I didn't want this video to be an hour long. So basically my thought process here was that I wanted there to be an area, like a cliff area immediately at the entrance, because I just think that it kind of frames the entrance really nicely, gives it some dimension, and I kind of wanted there to be an incline immediately off to the right, and I want most of this build to be on the second level. So right now I'm just mapping out where I want the path to go. I have decided to use the in-game pathing on this island. I'll be mostly using the light dirt path, and I have this really amazing custom design of a road that I'm going to be using. I think it looks really cute over the dirt path. I've seen several other creators doing this on really natural foresty islands, and I just think it looks really cool. So that's going to be how I am doing most of the pathing on the island, especially in these more city-like areas. So I did decide that I wanted there to be a little sitting area immediately at the entrance, and I kind of realized that I hadn't given myself enough room, so I'm just going back and kind of carving this area out a little bit more. So I'm jumping over to the entrance to resident services really quickly here. I do want there to be an incline that's kind of level or symmetrical with the door to resident services leading down into the plaza, and I'm kind of jumping over again to this area over here. I want there to be a sunken waterfall in this area. I do want it to look really natural as well as kind of city-like at the same time, so I love a good sunken waterfall, so I had to do that immediately at the entrance. And you'll see that I kind of struggle a little bit to get the water terraforming and the cliffs where I want them to be. It really bothers me that we can't round out the water terraforming more when the cliffs are round right next door to it, but eventually when everything comes together, it's not nearly as noticeable as it is right now. So I'm currently trying to figure out how I can round off this cliff while being in there. I do feel like building sunken waterfalls is kind of a big brain thing, so I do give up on it for just a second, and I'm going to go place this incline. Once I place it, I realize that it's cutting into the path a little bit too much, so I'm going to go ahead and carve this area out a little bit more. You'll notice that this is a completely different time. I'm so sorry for the change in lighting. It did take me quite a while to get the terraforming the way that I wanted it to be. I feel like the first build on an island can be really tricky because you're still kind of forming what your vision is going to be for the island, and so this one did take me quite a lot of time, and yeah, so hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. So I'm going to start laying down this road custom design that I have, and I feel like this is where I start to really get into the swing of things and be able to kind of visualize how I want things to come together. I also want to quickly mention that all of the custom designs that I am using on this island will be linked in my card. I have already kind of decided to switch a few of them out, but I will share all of the designs that I used in this video in my card, even if I'm not going to keep them on the island forever. So I decided to pop back over to the entrance and lay a couple of decorations here. I am going to use this brick custom design on these simple panels. I think it does a really good job of hiding the cliffs just a little bit and bringing in more of a city-like feeling as opposed to just natural, especially with the dirt pathing, and I do have a tendency to use a lot of trees, so I wanted to bring in some other tones. And then I go ahead and lay this brick path down. I think that I was kind of doubting myself using both the brick on the simple panels and a brick custom design underneath, but I think that the tones are different enough where it ended up looking okay. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it overkill on the brick, or do you think it looks good in the end? I really like this brick custom design. I love how the edges kind of look like the brick is like fading away into the grass a little bit. And I think it does help to give more of a slightly natural city kind of vibe. So I do want there to be a little sitting area at the entrance here, and I'm just going to use the white public bench. I think that the white and the brown tones look really cool together. I'm also going to place a barrel, and I put a glass candle on top. Those are two of my all-time favorite objects to use in the game. I was thinking that maybe the barrels wouldn't work as well on this island, but I definitely found a way to squeeze them in. And then I'm just going to start sort of framing this area with a few other designs. Chrisley looks so cute in his green raincoat. He looks perfect in all of the green. Somehow I've managed to have this island already look really green and really overgrown with trees. I'm not sure what's wrong with me, but I cannot stop using trees. So I am going to kind of start filling in this area. I want there to be a lot of windmills on this island. Although this area is going to be a little bit more of a city-ish kind of spot, I do want there to be a ton of farming areas on the island, and I want it to be very, very eco-friendly. Like, this is a very self-sustaining island, and so I think the windmills also just look really beautiful and add a little bit of dimension to the area. So you'll see that we have jumped to another day here. I didn't want it to be super rainy for the whole video. I do go ahead and plop a sign at the front of the island. I actually created this sign using the Animal Crossing design like website. I don't know, I just googled it and I was able to turn an image that I had found on the internet into a custom design. I thought it was really cute for the island. So I don't know if you guys are curious to see how I did that. I'm happy to make like a really short video on that, but let me know if that's something that you are interested in seeing in the comments below. So I did notice that it looks just a little bit funky because the simple panels are higher than the cliff, and I just kind of felt like it looked a little bit weird. So I am kind of playing around with different ways to fill in the space. And then I do want to put the custom designs underneath the hedges that I'm going to put here, just because I think it adds kind of a nice effect. And you'll notice I kind of run back down to the entrance to kind of see how it looks, and then I kind of come back up and tweak things. I decided that having that bush at the end looks super weird, and so I do end up kind of extending it all the way so it's a little bit more symmetrical with the panels. Eventually I get there. It takes me a couple of runs back and forth. So of course I had to stop and pause for those cool kids chilling in the resident services up there. They are so cute. I love when all of the villagers just like hang out in there like that. So I'm just gonna kind of put some trees where I think I want them to go. I do decide that I want to put a little newspaper stand at the front. I kind of felt like that was a really cute spot for it. Like when you first enter the island, you're on your way to resident services, you pick up your newspaper to read in the plaza. I don't know, I'm completely full of shit, but that's just what I was thinking in my mind. I do use a lot of these vertical board fences. I think that they look really cool on this island, and it kind of helped me to add a little bit of background dimension to things. Sometimes I feel like if I don't add a bunch of trees, it ends up looking kind of weird and there aren't any other taller objects. So I don't know. That was kind of where my thought was at with that one. I started to fill in that area, and then I realized that it looks a little bit weird not having anything underneath the stall. So I do end up using this brick custom design. So I'm just kind of framing the newspaper stand with a few other objects, and then Pearl decided to do some yoga directly in front of this incline, and she is just so precious. I didn't expect to fall in love with her as much as I have, and I just think she's really cute. Hopefully her and Kiki decide to get along really well. We'll have to see how that unfolds. So I do kind of continue to frame out the newspaper stand. Of course, I needed some straight papers and boxes, and I was kind of torn about putting the park clock or the street lamp there, and so I ended up moving the park clock over to where the newspaper stand is. I just kind of felt like it looked like it made a little bit more sense over there. And then I decided that of course I need to add another tree. I know I said I'm not creating another forest core item or island item, but I seriously cannot be stopped. I just feel like the trees fill the area in. I don't know why I sound so defensive right now, but I do end up having to dig it back up to fix the fence that's behind there. So that's just what I'm doing right now, and then I'm just gonna kind of finish filling in this area. So I'm totally erratically just placing items right now and trying to kind of visualize in my head how I want everything to come together. I go ahead and jump up to this top incline, and I realize that I can't place any trees up here, and you know that that's just not acceptable. So I'm gonna have to fix the water terraforming just a little bit so that I can at least get a couple of trees. I do feel like the higher inclines end up looking really strange when you don't put trees on them. That's just me, and you know that I'm obsessed, so that's probably why. So I decided to fix that terraforming, and then I'm going to pop back down to the lower level and add a few trees down there. So I decided to work on this area in front of the sunken waterfall. I do want this area to be a little bit symmetrical. I was kind of envisioning that it would be a picnic space by this sunken waterfall. I think that would be such an amazing place to picnic. I do kind of play around with the rugs just a little bit here, and I noticed that the custom design that I downloaded is like literally the exact same as my do-rag, which is kind of funny. So I do end up trading that one out for the patchwork design. I love this design so much. I think it's really cool. And then eventually you'll see I'm going to try to actually layer those two rugs. I have never created a layered rug look before, so you'll have to let me know what you think about it. I kind of feel like it's maybe a little bit awkward, but that's just me. So let me know what you think. Should I change this like rug up just a little bit, or do you like it? And of course, I place my first decoy duck of the build, or at least just the nest for the duck. I end up having to craft the duck a little bit later, and it will appear later in the video. But of course, I needed to have lots of ducks on this island. I still want there to be lots of animals on the island as well. And I'm going to try to start decorating this picnic area. I realized as I was decorating, I really wish that we had like an actual picnic table in the game, like the kinds that they have when you like like go to the park. So I was kind of trying to emulate that with the log table, but I just didn't think that it looked quite right on these blankets. So I go ahead and take that up, and I do sort of add items to that picnic as the video goes on, just based on what I had in my inventory at the time. So I start to fill in the area at this cliff. I decide to use more of the vertical board fencing. I feel like it ends up looking a little bit more consistent when I use that just kind of in the back of this area. I do end up breaking my shovel, which is great. I do end up digging up that flower because later I'm going to go ahead and put a bush there. I feel like the symmetry ends up bringing this area together quite a bit. So I'm just popping back down to that picnic area and switching out a few objects. I'm going to put the book and the teddy bear, and then you'll see later I do put a food item and just a few other kind of little tiny things that help to bring this area together. So next I'm going to fill in this area here to the left and kind of behind the entrance. I think that the benches look really nice in this area, and so I wanted to add another one. I did kind of feel like this area is just a little bit awkward because it kind of has that diagonal edge, which kind of limits like where you can put things. And then Pearl decided to come over and teach me the thinking reaction, which was very, very thoughtful of her. So I decided to just fill this area in with lots of flowers and trees and bushes. Nothing super crazy, nothing super special. You can see the lighting is just a little bit different. This is sunset, and I did decide to take a little bit of a break. You could probably tell by the amount of times that the lighting changes in this video how much I struggled to finish this area. I feel like starting a new theme is really, really difficult, and I was definitely just like doubting myself a lot and wondering if it was even looking good. My friend Katie ended up coming over, and it was really, really nice to get a second opinion, and it really motivated me to just kind of continue with the theme, see it out until the end. And so that is what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of adding in some finishing touches, another windmill up on this level, and just kind of filling this area in with some flowers and custom designs. So I'm going to hop down to the area that is right next to the entrance. This area is the cliff is going to extend way farther than this, but I just kind of wanted to finish the area that would be in the view of any pictures of the entrance and things like that. I wanted it to be really natural up here. I decided to use the garden wagon, and then you'll see later I'm going to go ahead and place a hammock and then just lots of flowers and custom designs, and I just wanted it to be really cozy but not distract from all of the things that are happening in the entrance. And just to kind of finish off this area, I do end up laying down this very, very soft soil and flowers dirt path. I think it's really, really beautiful, and eventually it's going to connect to another area on the island. So I decided to time travel to early September, and I feel like that has really made this to come together. I feel like all of the colorful flowers look so much better during this season in the game, and you can see that I did kind of fill out some of the areas. We have a little chess set. Here is the finished picnic area, and it's right next to the sunken waterfall. I would love to just sit there and have a little snack The duck has made its an appearance on its little nest. And yeah, this is just the finished area. I did end up extending the road pathing over to the left, and I feel like that helped that area to come together so much better. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Please let me know what you think of this new theme. I'm dying to know. I'm a little bit nervous to share it today. So please do let me know in the comments below. What do you think about it? But as always, if you like content like this, please do be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!